Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation, with another story about con artists trying to scam the elderly out of their hard-earned money, selling a gold brick in this case, precious metals. You got to be very careful out there. Some lessons to be learned for sure. Let's explore. Yes, this is comes to us from Norwalk, California. The NBC Los Angeles Channel 4 website has posted this article here about how two con artists have scammed an 80-year-old woman in Norwalk when they convinced her to buy what they said was a gold brick for $4,000. Very interesting indeed, and just goes to show you that it's something that is happening where people are approaching, and essentially common sense has escaped some people. But, some people say, well, the elderly, they're vulnerable, or what have you. I don't think that's necessarily the case all the time, but it could have been in this case. Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department officials are asking for help identifying the scammers who were captured on security camera video during the October crime. In footage captured by security cameras, the victim can be seen leaving a supermarket along with the two con artists on the day of the crime. I saw that footage, and they all look pretty old, but there's a man and a woman flanking this elderly lady who was walking considerably slower at 80 years old. The two individuals told the victim that because of their status as undocumented immigrants, they couldn't sell the brick themselves. Well, that should be a flag right there. If they're illegal aliens, which is the proper term, by the way, not undocumented immigrants, they're already breaking the law. That's how they convinced her to take them to an ATM where she withdrew $4,000, supposedly half the price of the brick, and handed the cash over. Interesting indeed. The gold she bought turned out to be worthless metal. Surprise, surprise. Juanita Navarro, spokesperson for the Sheriff's Department, said the two people sought for the crime have carried out at least two other scams in the same way. These two people are professional con artists. They have already done it in Anaheim. They have already done it in Paramount, and now they did it in the city of Norwalk with an 80-year-old lady, a defenseless person, Navarro said. And I will say, too, if anybody approaches you with a kilo size or even larger bar, I would question it immediately, especially if somebody you don't know off the street or what have you. But honestly, unless it was a trusted bullion dealer online, that I've come to know and trust, even if it was my local coin shop that was to procure such a bar, I would assure that it was tested before I spend, $8,000 on a piece of gold as such. Authorities are asking the public to be alert, not to trust any person who approaches with an offer, however good it may seem, and report them immediately to the police. Very true. Basic common sense. Believing in someone and taking out $4,000 is too much, especially cash. People should really think about how hard they've had to work to earn their money, than just take it out and give it to a person they don't know, said Hugo Martinez, a Los Angeles resident. Again, more common sense. If someone recognizes these two scammers, if they know where they live or their names, please disclose the information, and you can remain anonymous, Navarro said. So those of you who live in the Los Angeles area or near Norwalk, be alert out there. But, it shouldn't really even be a public service announcement. Most of us here in this community are aware of that. However, I will say, and it's not to say that in reflection on this person, but I had somebody post a comment on my video from Ukraine saying, I want to sell you some coins, some Chinese silver coins. How can I get in touch with you? It's fascinating. Some people just assume, hey, I'm going to just buy whatever you're selling. I don't know you from Adam. and they say, well, hey, I want to sell you some coins, and they're Chinese silver coins. Number one, Chinese silver coins. Yeah, that raises red flags right there. I told them that, more than likely they're fake. They responded back, and I said, well, first I told the guy, how do you know I even want to buy anything from you? I don't know you from Adam. And how do I know that these aren't fake? Most Chinese coins, especially of that style, are faked out there. And he said, well, all you have to do is just look at them. Yeah. Well, in my case and some others who may not be professionals, but I've been around the block enough to know that I could probably tell by looking at them whether they're real or not. But some of that old Chinese coins, most of them are fakes. And so, but nonetheless, be careful out there. Even here on YouTube, if somebody approaching you said, hey, I want to sell you something, be very cautious, especially on places like Craigslist or any kind of private sale. If you do trust somebody enough to sell them in private and meet them in person, meet in a public place, and make sure you have a testing device with you, I would recommend to get the Sig Metallics Precious Metals Verifier. I think it's a great way to be able to test the security of some things. I know I had somebody approach me knowing that I had this unit, and they asked me if these were fake. It was some Chinese silver coins. There you go. And I looked at them, and I could tell right away by looking at them that they were fake, but I told them that I would take them home and show them and take a picture and prove to them that they were fake when I did the testing on the Precious Metals Verifier. So I did that and showed them, and they believed, and those coins should be sent for destruction with Cyber Curtain Twitcher or what have you. But yes, indeed. But nonetheless, be very careful out there. Never ever trust somebody you don't know, or even if you do, even if somebody you do know. I'll give you one other little quick story about my local coin shop. I found a coin that they had that was supposedly gold. They bought it as a 10th ounce of gold. It was not. It was marked improperly, and they bought it as 10th ounce of gold, and it turns out it wasn't the case. And I ended up buying it, calculating based off of what the actual number was. 0.24 pure gold was the case. Turns out there's probably even less gold than that, so I probably still overpaid for it. They lost a lot of money on it, but that's not. And there was another time when they thought they had a gold-plated silver bar. It turns out it was not. It was just a gold-plated brass or copper ingot there that they had, one of those art bars. So be very cautious and be very careful. It doesn't necessarily always have to happen to the elderly either, but this is it. Con artist has scammed, and more likely those people are gone. There is security footage out there, so hopefully they will find them and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law and get that money back to that lady. I hope that lady learned a valuable lesson as well. We're going to remind everyone that I do post videos on a daily basis, and to look in the description of this video. For those of you, some have been asking, where's your 1 ounce round? I have a 1 ounce poured silver bar, a round, that is available at MK Bars. If you use the code SM10, you can save 10% on that. And then also at APMEX, there's a link as well for the 2 ounce round. That round is in the beginning intro of this video. And so I also post videos on a daily basis, and would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm back. Look at this. I found this other story from KTLA.com that shows a screen grab of both people there, and the lady's face is blurred in the footage. But this is interesting. Here's a picture of the bar. That should really raise flags. I've never seen a bullion bar that looks like that. Very, very, very suspect this particular piece is. That should raise red flags there. The bar doesn't appear to be marked at all. So that is quite interesting. This site showed a picture of that, and here's another screen grab from the footage there, the security footage. This lady with a bandana. I do have a considerable amount of viewers in California, so I think it's important that I do post this here. And this has a Crime Stoppers number, 800-222-8477, or the Norwalk Station number there. But it's good to bring this stuff out there to the attention. So, but very fascinating to see. I was very curious to see what that gold bar looked like and wanted to look that up. So there it is. All right. A multitude of gratitude again to you all.